BEE share scheme MTN Zakhele is looking to extend its exemption period, but the Financial Services Board has said no to this request. Joining us on the line now to explain more is Sydney Mhlari, who is MTN Zakhele's spokesperson. Sydney, thanks for joining us today. As we understand, the extension that you originally asked for does expire at the end of March. For the moment, what alternatives are you looking at?
Thanks, Bill. Good evening. The alternatives we're looking at, one, it includes listing on the JSE. Two, it also includes applying for your own exchange, or completely shutting down the shareholders, therefore trading, on a one-to-one basis over the counter, as opposed to facilitated through the trading platform, which is the core of the problems or the challenges we've had with the Financial Services Board.
Sydney, is listing of the JSE an option going forward?
It is an option. The company has been for the past few months very informal discussions with the JSE, who appreciate the challenges why MTN Zakhele list on the JSE in the first instance. And those challenges relate to the accessibility of the JSE to an ordinary MTN Zakhele shareholder. You appreciate the JSE is not really geared up for a man on the street, which is the typical shareholder of MTN Zakhele. So we've had some discussions, and the JSE has initiated a process internally of looking to what extent they can amend some of their member rules and to some of their listing requirements to accommodate not only these types of scheme or not only MTN Zakhele, but other similar types of scheme to facilitate that. So we've kept close to those internal discussions within the JSE, and we're making our input. Hopefully when that's finalized, then at some time MTN Zakhele may be able to list on the JSE. So that's one of the strong consideration or strong option that's on the table.
Sydney, do we know why the FSB said no?
The FSB has flagged this right at the beginning when MTN Zakhele was preparing to start trading, right in the middle of 2013. They flagged this matter then that they have had an internal change in policy following the promulgation of the FMA Act in 2012, that this so-called single counter exchanges, let's use that word, they consider them to be operating exchanges, and they are not licensed. They either need to get a license or simply close their operations such that they do not fall foul of that provision of the Financial Markets Act. And what then FSB did, started the process of consulting with the industry and issuing directives. One of the directives they issued, or the final directive they issued in the middle of 2014, it resulted in an application by ourselves to the FSB to regularize under that directive. And we submitted an application, and the FSB came back with a 6-month exemption that they gave the company, still with an ultimate goal of either you get a license or you list on an exchange or you seize your own operations.
Sydney, more importantly, for the shareholders that are probably watching this interview for today, what do they do in the meantime? Are you communicating with them? And if so, what is your message?
One, we have communicated with them through our usual channels. The message is, at this stage, the trading still continues, and the reason for cautioning them is that in the next few weeks we may have further announcements. It's for them to trade with caution and to watch out for further announcements from the company, which hopefully provides clarity or more clarity with regards to the end of March.
Thank you so much to Sydney Mhlari.